A nightmare British Grand Prix for Haas has been made worse by action off-track, with ongoing internal politics at title partner Rich Energy seeing a tug-of-war over its sponsorship of the American team, one played out over social media, with the war still raging online. The action kicked off on Twitter last week when Rich Energy announced it had terminated the deal. The company's CEO, William Storey, disappointed with poor results on track.
I think Gunther Steiner is a lovely man. I think Gene Haas is a fantastic guy. But ultimately, they as a team have been underperforming. And ultimately, as I said, one of the issues for us has been the huge amount of politics within the sport.
The team has bank guarantees over the deal. Red Bull's fuel and lubricant supplier ExxonMobil says Honda's 2020 F1 power unit has World Championship winning potential. Honda joined Red Bull Racing this year after a season spent developing with the brand's B-team Toro Rosso. And while Max Verstappen stormed to the squad's second straight win in Austria last month, ExxonMobil Motorsport technical advisor Sean Dunnett says the focus remains on next year.
Yeah, I mean, this year was always going to be more of a development platform for Honda going into next year. And I think the early signs already at race 9 is that Honda has potential to have a really competitive engine going into next year, and certainly a World Championship winning engine, I think.
Silverstone was business as usual for Red Bull after giant killing in Austria, with Verstappen and Pierre Gasly in the top 5 for the second time this year, cementing its place as F1's third fastest team. But Dunnett says there is more to come from the Milton Keynes-based squad, with more success expected later this season.
Red Bull are making such huge improvements that I think by the end of the season it will all be to play for, and they'll be far more evenly matched going into next year.
Five-time F1 world champion Lewis Hamilton has again provided a glimpse into his winning mentality. The 33-year-old bouncing back from the team's cooling issues in Austria to secure a record 6th British Grand Prix win on Sunday. Hamilton is in pole position to secure a 6th crown this year, but he's not getting complacent, even with a 39-point advantage over Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas.
I think naturally I'm really fortunate that I've got the experience. I feel super healthy and young mentally, so it's just about being calm, composed, and delivering. I think it's been the best start of a season I've ever had. And we've just had our first kind of little blip, but we still got points. So you've got to take the rough with the smooth, and then keep powering away.
Silverstone's future as British Grand Prix host was finally saved last week following years of negotiations, with Formula One, the British Racing Drivers Club, and Silverstone Circuit completing a 5-year deal. One that will see the historic track on the calendar until at least 2024. It's the deal that had to happen for the good of the sport, with Silverstone hosting the inaugural Formula One event in May 1950, and this year's edition, the 53rd at the track, and the 70th British Grand Prix overall. The negotiations began back in 2017 after Silverstone owners the BRDC triggered the break clause in its contract with F1 on the back of financial losses totaling £7.6 million across 2016 and 2050.
We lose money on the Grand Prix every year. Putting it on, and that's a function of the contract that we've had for the last 8 years.
The new contract has effectively broken the Bernie Ecclestone financial model, one that puts huge pressure on circuits and fans, with this the first sustainable deal done, and more likely to come. McLaren has become the first mover on the 2020 grid, locking in Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris as its driver lineup for next year, ahead of the British Grand Prix. It was an unusually early confirmation, but one that was inevitable, with McLaren happy with its pairing, and stability important for further growth, and its continued progress up the grid. Carlos and Lando are proving themselves as racers and are integral to our path to recovery, said McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown. The move shuts the door to a Fernando Alonso comeback, the 37-year-old yet to confirm his plans for 2020, following his second Le Mans win and World Endurance Championship with Toyota. Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.